Hey folks, today's lesson is Intro to Trigonometry, Labeling Triangles. Right angle triangles are super cool. I knew you'd ask why. Because you can figure out any side length or angle if you're given two pieces of information. There are three trigonometric ratios or proportions we'll be learning about, and they're called sine, cosine, and tangent. But before we learn more, we need to know how to label our triangles. Here are three things to know before we get started. The first thing, this fancy symbol is called theta, and it's used to represent angles. Sometimes you'll see it handwritten like this, and it means the same thing. Second thing to know is that opposite means directly across from the indicated angle. And adjacent means touching or next to the indicated angle. So for example, opposite, if we have a right angle triangle like this, and the indicated angle is here, opposite means it goes right across. And if we're looking for adjacent, and this is the indicated angle, this is the adjacent side because it's touching the angle. The hypotenuse is the easiest side to find because it's always across from the right angle, like when you use Pythagorean theorem. The next step is to label the sides opposite and adjacent. So the three sides we need are hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So you know how to find hypotenuse. Opposite, like I mentioned, is straight across from the indicated angle. And the side will change depending on where that angle is. Like we did here. So indicated angle goes across the opposite side. And same thing here, we have our indicated angle. And so the opposite side is straight across the triangle. Let's have a look at adjacent in this one. And again, it depends on which angle is indicated. So if this is our indicated angle, we know opposite is across, and that means adjacent is touching. Again, indicated angle. Opposite is right across, making adjacent touching the angle on this side. Let's try a few. I'll show you how to do it, and then you're going to go back and finish the next questions on your own. Make sure to check in with me when you're done to see if you're on the right track. Here in question number 1, you can see I already have it labeled, but let's go over how I did that. So I knew where the hypotenuse was because that is always directly across from that right angle triangle. So here is my hypotenuse. Next thing I'm going to do is look for the indicated angle, and I know it's here. So first I'm going to label the opposite, and I use the purple arrow here to indicate opposite. And that means this one. The one that's touching the angle is the adjacent side. What your job is going to be is to fill in those missing values. So here we see opposite is 15, and I have that marked in. Adjacent is 8. And opposite side, we don't have any information there, so we want to make sure we indicate that with a question mark. And when we get into solving, the one with the question mark is the one we'll be solving for. All right, now you're off. You have 9 more questions to finish up, and be sure to check in when you're done.